Look, there's a ghost that haunts everyone approaching their 30th birthday. It's the ghost of your parents at the same age. At 30, they had the mortgage, the stable career path, the 2 kids, and the society approval. They had a map, and they were following it. At 30, we have a collection of impressive-looking houseplants, a subscription to a therapy app, and the constant, nagging feeling that we are somehow behind schedule. The main topic of this video is not about turning 30. It's about the great desynchronization. The rule book that our parents followed has been shredded. The road has fundamentally changed. So, what can you really expect in this new, unmapped territory? Forget everything you were told you should have by this age. The reality of being 30 in 2025 is more confusing, more challenging, and ultimately more freeing than any generation has ever experienced. And today, we're breaking down the new rules of the game. To understand what to expect, we need to look at the 4 key areas of life that have been completely rewritten. First, the career quake. Your career, the idea of a linear one, climbing one ladder at one company for 40 years, is completely dead. Welcome to the career quake. A recent study from CV Wizard shows that in 2025, over 65% of millennials and Gen Z are planning to change jobs. This isn't stability, this is the new stability. The degree you got 10 years ago is now just a starting point. Skills are the new currency, and constant adaptation is the only job security. Your career at 30 is no longer a ladder. It's a portfolio of skills, projects, and side hustles. The pressure isn't to be loyal to a company, but to be relentlessly adaptable to a changing world, especially with AI reshaping jobs faster than we can update our resumes. 2. The financial paradox. Money. We live in a financial paradox. We have access to sophisticated investment apps, crypto, and fractional shares. Tools our parents never dreamed of. Yet, basic financial security feels further away than ever. Data from 2025 shows more than half of our generation is living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Stagnant wages, inflation, and a housing crisis that has put home ownership out of reach of many. At 30, our parents were building equity in home. Many of us are building a really impressive credit score to rent a slightly nicer apartment. The goal has shifted from ownership to managing financial anxiety. 3. The relationship revolution. What about love and family? The timeline has been completely rewritten. The average age of the first marriage and childbirth has been pushed back by nearly a decade compared to our parents' generation. The pressure is still there, but it's different. Dating apps give us the paradox of choice. So many options that it's harder to choose one. But there's a silver lining. Being single in our 30s is no longer a stigma. It's often a conscious choice. We are the first generation with the widespread freedom to define what a fulfilling relationship looks like for us, whether that includes marriage, kids, or neither. 4. The age of self-discovery. Because those traditional milestones, marriage, house, kids, are no longer happening on a strict schedule, our 30s have transformed. It's no longer the decade of settling down. It's become the decade of self-discovery. A kind of a second adolescence, but with a bit more money and a lot more back and pain. This is the time we got to therapy to unpack our childhoods. The time we quit the good job to find meaningful work. The time we finally learned to set boundaries. The focus has shifted from building an external life that looks good to building an internal life that feels good. Okay, so the old map is gone. The ground is shaking. It sounds daunting, but what if not having a map is actually the greatest opportunity of our lifetime? The reality is, the lack of a clear path is not a failure, it's an invitation. An invitation to stop measuring our lives with our parents' ruler. The goal is no longer to build a stable life, but to build an aligned life, a life that truly reflects who we are. Here are 5 new rules that I would like to share with you. Rule number 1. Embrace the portfolio life. Stop searching for the one perfect job. Instead, think like an artist and build a portfolio of skills, interesting projects, side hustles, and meaningful experiences. Your security isn't it in a corporation, it's in your adaptability. Here's one tip. Spend 1 hour this week in learning a small, adjacent skill on YouTube that complements what you already do. Second rule, redefine rich. Maybe being rich at 30 isn't about mortgage. Maybe it's being free from high interest debt, having a 6-month emergency fund, and owning assets that buy you freedom. Whether that's an investment, a small business, or simply your own time. Here's a tip. Automate a small transfer, even $20, to savings account or investment account every week. The amount matters less than the habit. Rule number 3. Curate your connections. Your 30s are for curating, not just collecting. This applies especially to people. Consciously audit your friendships. Who gives your energy and who drains it? Invest your limited social time in connections that are deep and supportive. Identify one friendship that truly matters and schedule a call or hangout this week with no agenda other than to connect. You're gonna feel really better than after that. Rule number 4. Schedule exploration. Our parents' lives were about depth in one era. Ours can be about depth through different eras. Schedule time to be a beginner at something. A pottery class, a coding boot camp, a weekend language course. Here's a tip. Book one small, low-cost class or workshop for something you have always been curious about. The goal is not about to become an expert. It's to remember how to learn. Rule number 5. Practice compassionate comparison. When you feel behind, remember this. You are comparing your chaotic, unedited 4K reality to your parents' curated analog photo album. They had their own silent struggles and anxieties. Your journey is not theirs. Here's a tip. The next time you catch yourself comparing, say out loud, I am running my own race. It sounds silly, but it works. Being 30 in 2025 is to be a pioneer. It's uncertain, it's often stressful, but it's also filled with a level of freedom and possibility our parents could only dream of. The goal is no longer to find the right path, it's to have the courage to draw your own. So let's get to work. If this reflection touched you, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. We are not alone. We are all part of a much larger whole. If you are in your 30s and feel lost, remember that you are not alone. It's time to get to know yourself deeper and to connect with people that resonates with you. Never stops believing. You get there. Thank you, and I see you next time.